Yay. Comments are up. Yay, yay, yay. If I miss something because it's on the iPad, hey Donna, how are you? That's because they zap away really quick on the iPad. You know how that goes. So, welcome to Known as Nutty Crafts. Woohoo! And it's Carolyn here. How are you? Hey Janet, look at this. 2 days in a row you guys have me. 2 days in a row. Oh, what am I saying? Oh, record. So I was like, I'm just gonna go. Oh, I don't need that one. We're just gonna have some fun today. So with playing off what we did last night, which was this baby, we did the bow. You remember I was talking about painting on the burlap, right? So I said, hello, let's go paint on burlap. So let me put this is going to be my template. So I wanted to show you a couple of things about burlap first. Now there's, just like buying sheets, you know, you go to the store, they have like 150 count, 1,000 count, you know, and stuff. The lower the number on the count, the more it feels. Hi everybody, how are y'all doing today? Hi, hey, hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. And the lower the count number, the sheets feel really rough on you, right? So the higher the number, the stitching is kind of closer together and it starts feeling so soft. So it's kind of the same with burlap. So I'm going to show you, I have 2 types of burlap here. Now I'm going to switch cameras here. Oh, like I have it all on my other, I could do this on my keyboard on my phone. It's silly me. So if you look at this one, you can like really see through it. I mean, you can see my hand through it because the stitching, you know, each little square and all is really kind of far apart, right? Whereas this one, which is this one, is a lot closer. So you can even see the difference here. Whoops, everything's falling on the floor. This is more, see how much it shreds and everything? Not saying this will not shred, but you can even see how close to the stitching is on here. Look at the difference just on shredding. You know, it's kind of like deco mesh, you know, you buy the really cheap stuff, it's going to shred like crazy. You buy something a little bit better and it's not going to shred as much. So I wanted to show you those 2 things first before we got started. And look, newspaper bag. I don't know if they still make newspapers or not, but that's what I keep these guys in. I don't need to see it. I have 1 color. Now you can buy burlap in, you know, different colors because like I make wreaths with burlap, you know, like the red, white, and blue flags and stuff like that. Get in there. And I do keep this closed up. Probably should have a mask on because you get those little fibers in you. And that's why I like the burlap that is more closer together as far as it goes, than rather than having it so far apart, the stitching. So what I did here, like I have a drink on the table, like I need a drink, like a hole in that. So I took this and what I did, I laid it on top of here. Okay. I gave myself about an extra, I don't know, ½ an inch, give or take, you know, distance on the sides because we're going to sew this, or you can glue it together. Now, do I have to do burlap for the back? No, I can pick a fabric if I want. So I figured today what we're going to do is this, and maybe we'll make the bow for it because this is going to take a little bit to dry, but this is going to be my template. So I'm just going to, I got a drink here. I brought a drink up and now I have no place to put it. Okay. It's going to sit over here, and I'll probably forget that I put it on the floor. Oh. All right. So I have a bunch of tools, but I'll go over the tools later. And I had 1 piece of paper towel. Oh, let's see. I went downstairs to get some more. So we got white paint, and we got black paint, and we got yellow paint. Oh, silver paint, because the race it has here, you know what I forgot was my pink paint. Oh, well. Well, we can do this as this dries. I will run like the Dickens to go get the pink. So, yeah, I went to go do that. And you know what sidetracked me was the dogs because they wanted to go out. And I was like, now you want to go out? Now this is going to take a lot of paint. You can use a sponge brush. You can use one of these, you know, a thicker brush. It really doesn't matter. It's up to you. Hello. It's really up to you what you would like to do. Okay. Just a preference, just a choice for you. So, but first what I want to do is we're going to draw some imaginary lines on here. Oh, look, I have a paint stick that works. So what I want, watch me get paint all over me because I put on a long sleeve shirt to do this. Smart, Carolyn. So I'm going to kind of figure out, dimension wise, I can make it a little bit bigger because, like I said, I'm going to be cutting this off. So I'm just going to take my pencil and draw a line there, figure about, and to me, this is all, I look at it and I kind of go, okay, that's where it needs to be. That's how I do some of my measuring. Good measuring, isn't it? And what I'm going to do here, because I know this is my point here, and I'm just going to go ahead and just draw a straight line across to that right now. Even though I'm going to, you know, we can do it wavy like this one is, scallopy. And then I'm going to pick, my glasses are falling off, how wide or how much I want this to be black. And I'm going to do it so it's about like that. Okay. So I have my line for the black part. This will stay burlappy, yellow, silver, and yes, pink. The one I forgot. I don't have to do light pink. Do I have? I could do any color pink. Do I have another pink in here that I could use? You know what I did? I had all my baby blues and pinks and all, and I took them downstairs because I didn't think I was going to use them anymore. Silly me. All right. So you can kind of iron this out, but you would have to put something on top, I guess. I never ironed burlap before. So we're going to start with the yellow. So I'm going to do the sponge brush. Oh, actually, I got to mark this off. Glasses, please. All right. So this one had 2 scallop marks on it. So I find where's my little ruler? My little ruler. Find my center, which is there. And I can do that. I can make them wavy. I can make them pointy, kind of like this one's a little bit, you know, pointy kind of. Do whatever you want. You know, it doesn't matter. But I also got to remember I'm going to come in a little bit on the side. So let me just, oh look, this wasn't cut straight. Okay, that's going to make a big change. So let's just go ahead. Now you can use the burlap, you know, stitching to help you line things up if you want. My eyes go really crazy when I do that. So I'm going to make this my edge of my burlap because I want these squiggly lines in there to be centered. Oh my gosh, my eyes doing that. You know when you're trying to follow a line and your eyes are like, oh, are you kidding? You want me to do what? All right. I know you can't really see. Well, you can kind of see. There's my line going down. And you can see a little bit of the line going over here. I can see it better than you guys. Let me just, and this is my other line here. Just draw that a little bit more so I can see that a little bit better. You know, when you get old, the eyes don't work as well. All right. So maybe you could see those lines a little bit better. And the thing is with this, I can outline it in black like it is on here if I want to do that. So it's okay. All right. So now I got my center here. And if I want to do it kind of like that, I can find my center here. And I could just draw a little bit of an arch. Now going cross grain like this is a pain in the butt. And I can make it sharp, I can make it rounded, it doesn't matter. This is our little project. And I'm only, oh, I thought I put this on. Guess I didn't. Silence. Okay, can you guys see those lines? Yeah, you could see them a little bit, the little triangle lines a little bit. They don't have to be even, it doesn't have to be. I know I put this on silent, because that's just rude. Bring her off, and we're just going to make sure everything's off on this. Maybe I didn't put it off before. Okay, ringer's off. Yes. So if you guys heard her echo, my fault. My fault. All right, so let's get the painting now. When in doubt, now this is one of my old mats, and I just flipped it upside down. And I put on the, there's a piece of cardboard underneath here with some just wax paper on it. And that's all that it is. Usually I'll do these outside, and it actually is a nice day, but I can't do all these little camera tricks out there because the internet won't be as good. Now, sometimes as you're doing this, depending how thick you want this to be on here, will depend. If you want it where it has the gaps and stuff on it, go for it. Let me split the screens. So you can see me talking. Hi. Hi. Because otherwise you just see my hands, and that's kind of boring. What have you done? Oh, my finger. The nail broke too far, and it's so sore. So I was just like, good gosh, I got to put a, trying to put a Band-Aid on it, you know, just to kind of keep things from hitting it. It's still sore. Yeah, so that, it's one of those Band-Aids that folds over weird, you know. And this is just to keep it on because it's like flaring out the edges, and I don't want to catch it on anything. That's all it is. You guys notice the littlest things, right? All right. Now we'll come down here. And this is so easy. Don't make it so difficult on yourself, you know, if you're just starting to do something like this. Just have fun with it. Pick something. Do polka dots on something, you know, to see how, you know, it comes out. But I'll get paint on me for a second. Now the only thing, I don't know if you can see on the brush, where's the camera? It's getting a little fuzzy on the brush, and that's because it's the burlap. I'll just stick it over there. Oops. A little bit more paint. Now you can see where it's thicker on some of the paint, and that's fine. As this dries, it's going to dry a little bit lighter. You know, that's just like, you know, when you paint your room, you're picking out a color and it looks great when it's wet, and then when it dries, you go, oh, good God, what was I thinking? I've done that. Trust me, I've done that in my bedroom. And I like to use these just because of the fuzzy stuff coming off. I don't want to ruin some of my other brushes. Now you can dab it if you want to really make sure you're getting it in those little cracks. If you really want it to be more, the more paint you put on it, the stiffer it gets, which is, again, fine. But if you want it to look older looking, You know, you may want some of those gaps in there. I just try to make it, you kind of see it looks spotty. So I try to make it look like that throughout the whole pencil. Now we're going to be putting white dots. Oh, I forgot to take my white paint out. That's right behind me, so that's okay. And we're going to make circles on here too. Don't have to. You can leave it just like a regular pencil, but these are good. My daughter doesn't know unless she's watching. I was just like, yeah, that hurts. I figured for my granddaughter, for her teachers in kindergarten, you know, this is just a little something, you know, that she may want to give them as a thank you gift coming towards the end of the year. Because, I mean, they did a lot this year, you know. And like I said, at least our teachers, you know, we really like. They're really easy to talk to, especially on these Zoom calls. You can ask them anytime. You don't have to, like, call and wait for the teacher to respond back or anything. It's like the class is ending. You're like, oh, you know, Miss such and such, I have a question. So they've been, her teacher's been really nice. Okay, so that's it with the yellow. What did I do with my water thing? Wait, hold on. I have a water bucket. Hold on, please. See what happens when the dogs sidetrack you? There we go. Got my water bucket. What this is, all this is a bucket. It's a paint bucket, and it has brushes that are angled, so when you put your brush in, it's not jabbing down on the ruining brush, and this helps. The side is just like the cleaning side. I'm just going to take some of this burlap off. So on this side, I just kind of dab it in. Now, so now I drew that pencil line here, so I can take the eraser. Now, if you want to use chalk or something, you may still see it. Now I can paint this part too if I really want to. So let's do a little black. Black, black, black. Okay. Not that black, evidently. I'll take this one. I think that one's, feels like it's got paint in there. I hate having the paint globbing at the top of there. Alright, so we're just going to, I stuck my finger in the paint. I'm just going to go straight across on this. It doesn't really play into an effect if I have lines or not, because it will still line up, you know, in the center. And then I can look, oh, does it need to be a little thicker, you know, a little deeper? I'm going to go a little deeper. Make it a little wider. Take that out of your way. I have done that too. I've taken the burlap, I've done bunnies, dots on them for my grapevine bunnies. I've done it for St. Patrick's Day. I painted circles. I've done little clover ones on that one, and I put it on a clover backing, grapevine, I think it was, or wire, I forgot which, backing, and that was pretty cool because I did it in one color green, and I came back with lighter color green, and I painted like hearts, you know, 3 hearts, and then made the stem on it. Let me put you over there. And that takes care of that color. You don't want to get this ruined. So I'm going to stick it down here. Stick it down here. So next, now you can see the paint starts bleeding through, and that's okay because it doesn't matter. We're going to be covering it anyway. So let's take our silver. Now you could do this in gray. I had the, oh, I didn't even open this yet. Or did I? Yes, I did. Just not the top. This is like a metallic-y color. And I thought, oh, this would be kind of cool. You can do gray. You don't have to go metallic on ya. But I thought it would be fun. And I'll just take another brush. I always get my brushes a little bit wet. I didn't do that on the black one though. And we'll just, this is my angle brush. Don't need that brush. It's gonna look pretty cool, I think. I'll just, and it's not hard. Guys, you can take this, draw an oval, make an egg, and paint it, whatever. Have your kids do it, you know, grandkids or whatever. And then you can, you know, put fabric behind it, put a little jute or something to hang it with. Make a little bow, and there you go. Oh man, I don't have the pink. Maybe I got a bottle of pink. What colors make pink? White and red, right? So I can mix my own color pink. Because my pink is all the way down. I'm on the 3rd floor. That's on the 1st floor, on the opposite end of the house. And you would probably think she'd gone up and died by the time I try to get back up the stairs. Alright, so see? Coming looking like a pencil. Not hard. So let's mix some colors together. Oops, not what I want. We got some red and we got some white. We're gonna make our own pink. Our own pink. Let me move this out of the way. So see, if you don't have the colors, think of your color wheel. What makes those 2 colors or 3 colors? These are, you know, you get those little fruit cups like you can get for kids and stuff like that. That's what these are. And I have so many of them because I was saving them at first and giving them to my granddaughter's, you know, school, like all from the mash rolls or even the ribbon rolls and stuff. And I was giving it to them so that they can do projects with the kids. Oh God, I'll be here forever doing that. I'll take my brush. So we're just going to mix. Now, this is probably more than I need. So we're just mixing the paint to get whatever. Actually, that's a pretty good pink, actually. That looks like the eraser. Perfect. Look at that. Perfect. See, I didn't have to go running up and down the stairs. Now I have it on my, look at, I got it all over the brush, which is horrible to do. I got my dirty apron on because this is dirty job. Oh, yay. I'm just going to paint it all the way up to the edge because I can always cut it off. Move that out of the way so you can see. Isn't this fun? Hi, my friend, Miss Jan. How are you doing? Whoop, whoop. And you can make these anything. You can make a flower, you know, just like do something simple. Circles, 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 and paint them. And the more detail you add onto the flower or whatever you're doing will bring it more to life. Now I want this nice and filled in here because you can't have a gappy, gappy eraser. You gotta have a full eraser. Hey, as you guys are watching this, why do I keep doing that? I got my phone right here, so I didn't have to reach across the table. Wait until it comes up. There we go. If you wouldn't mind doing that, that would be so cool. Love to have as many friends that we can. So I call it the LSF. LSF. Got an LSF with us because it's fun. And don't forget, I have a YouTube channel. Guys, subscribe to it. It's free. I like the word free. And I'll post things on there. I think I just posted 2 little short, like 13-second videos there the other day. So check it out. All right. So we got our pink in there. And this dries pretty quick. And the reason why it's, you know, different than drying on wood, because wood is more solid. This has these little gappy air holes in here, so to speak. So look at. To you, this looks really washed out, but it's really not, so to speak. Whoops, this way. Came up cool. So far, so good. Now, I am going to put the blow dryer on for a few seconds, so if you guys want to cover your ears up, because I'm trying to fast speed this for you guys. So here comes the hair dryer. So what I'm going to do, this is just a piece of cardboard here that I put, like I said, some wax paper on. I keep a bunch of these right here by me. So I'm just going to switch it out. Just because this is going to be all wet paint. I'm going to put that where I'm not going to step on it, because then I'll be dragging paint all over the house. Here we go. So see, not too bad, not too bad. There we go. I'm back. I'm back. Now, what we need to do is paint circles on here. And you're like, how are you going to do that? There are a variety of ways you can do it. You can take, these are a sponge. It's like a dabber. The difference between this one and what they call a dabber, you have a lot of this sponge here, right? A dabber is like really close to it, so it's more touching, you know, on the wood than anything. So the dabber is really tight fitting, you know, like rubber on it, whereas the sponge, you have more flexibility, more spongy. So you can do this and do this over that, which we're going to do in white, because the other one had some circles on it, so we'll do the same on here. Now, when you do this, if you're doing this on wood, you want to be careful with that, because the wood, you want to put it down and you kind of want to twist it when you're, you know, using wood. Because if you don't, you're going to get it pull up and you're going to get these little air bubbles on it, all right? So I know I keep flipping the cameras for you, but, you know, I like to talk to you and you guys see me, you know. Hello, hello, everybody that's just coming on. We are painting on burlap. So it's just enough paint on there, and then you decide where you want to put your dots. We'll put one right here. And you can push down. It may not come all the way. Ooh, that came out perfect. Sometimes it doesn't come out and you have to go back and re-dab it and stuff. I should have done this on a plate so I can make sure I get all the edges. Yay. Let me get a wider, like a wider cup to do this. And then make sure you don't, I don't know if you could see. There's a lot of paint on there. And you want it to be even. You don't want it to be globby, so to speak. And these are just random putting on. Now I'm pushing all the way through on this because this is burlap and I want to make sure that it really catches all the way through on it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Now you could do it half off, you know, if you want to do something like that. I'm just going to keep all the dots on here just so it's similar to the other one, since one will be for the teacher and the other one's going to be for the assistant in the class. And I'm kind of, it's a little bit of a zigzag. I don't want them perfectly looking like a dice. And we'll just make this one up here. Voila. It's a lot of paint on that. So what I try to do is I try to get as much paint off of this because it does suck up a lot of paint because I value my paint. Am I done with white? No, I'm not, because I got to do the lines. All right. So that's going to take a little bit to dry. So what we're going to do, we're going to do some painting. So since we have the white out, now I have these. These are called embossing tools. Now listen, I just picked this one up today in the Dollar Tree. First time I've ever seen it. They have different little balls on the edge. Let me see if I can get close, if you can see. I want it to stay in focus, so I don't know how good you can see this. But at the edges, it has a little ball, kind of like the back of a pin would be, and they're various sizes on the side. I picked this one up because this one had a really big ball on the end of it. And my other one that I had that was the biggest, haven't. And I've had, literally, guys, I've had these. Let's see, we lived in Florida back in 90, so 89. I've had these since 1989. That's how old they are from painting. And this is, of course, my new one. So I'm not using the little tiny ones because I don't need those, but I'm going to use this one. So on here, we're going to see how good this works with burlap because I haven't tried it with burlap. Now with this, you can make little polka dots with it, but you can also, like this had like a Z, or like a 7 on it. So I can use this if I want, instead of a paintbrush, but I think a paintbrush might work a little bit better on this. Yep, it will. So let me get a paintbrush. Actually, do I have white paint? I do. Oh, yes. Hold on, you guys. I have these paintbrushes like this too. And these are painting, you know, craft brushes. So I just want to make sure if there's anything on the end of this. This is paint, same paint. You can take this and you can do the same thing. Oop, now I put the other paint on it. Oop, it's not quite dry because I got black paint on it. Dang it. Okay, back to the paintbrushes. The paint isn't quite dry. So I have a plethora of paintbrushes here, and I keep this. This is sewing. It's to hold sewing needles. So just pick out whatever, pick a paintbrush, whatever size I want it to be. I want one a little bit thicker maybe. Oh, this one. And I just roll them up and I keep my paintbrushes in there. Oh well, that idea. Sorry. So we're just going to paint. It's just like a little zigzaggy. That's all that it is. You know, on here. Kind of like a backwards 7. How do you write 7? Yeah, no, it's a forward 7. I think it's just more so like and a little bit of a highlight. You know, just give it some definition if you want to call it that. So that's all that we had to do with white, right? Mm-hmm. The sponge brush is taking up the whole slot over there. So I'm going to try the black because the edging on all this is outlined in black. If it doesn't work, I can always go back. Okay. Oh, go color your mom's hair. Go ahead. And all we're going to do is outline this whole thing. So now if you want it to be straight, and then you can go back with your paint if you need be. And it's almost like using a marker. You probably could use a marker if you really wanted to. And see, I'm just outlining it. I hope the pink is dry enough. Maybe I'll stay off the pink still. Just to make sure that it's dry enough before I go ahead and take a black pen to it. Excuse me. I've had this tickle in my throat and I keep saying, oh, I just got to go ahead. Take a drink, Caroline, take a drink. There we go. See if we can do it up here. Okay, the pink didn't come off. But of course, if it's on black, you really can't see, right? See? It's just outlining it. Easy peasy. Do the silver one first. Oh, it's actually almost as thick as the paint stick, and I didn't even plan that. Ah, who knew? My mind must have been talking to itself. Here we go. Woohoo! Woohoo! So far, so good. Look at that. It's looking like a pencil. Now I got to draw it down here. So now this is my angles. Oh, I love angles. No, I don't really. Because you never get it right, right? Just pray that my angles come out right. Hold on. Because I gotta be a mathematical genius here for a second. Is that the right angle? Hold on. Hold please. Damn, that's good. I was good on that one. That was a lucky drawer one. That was luck, y'all. Because I can never get those right. I don't know why. It's just one of those little... Looks like... I don't recommend using a paintbrush. A ruler would be better. But... You know how you try to plan something and then you think, oh, I got it all. And then you turn around, oh, man. Well, that's me today. It's the oh, man thing. Now, y'all can't tell me y'all can't do this. This is so easy. Look at that. Still don't understand why it looks like a 7, but that's what they had. So there's nothing else going up here. Now when I decide on my pen, I actually, because this is pretty dry. Decide on my eraser. My eraser. My eraser. See my New Yorker coming out. Hello, my friend. Amazing. Yeah. This was my idea from yesterday because we did that, the other bow, and I realized, you know, I was like, she's got 2 teachers. Why not make my own? And then both teachers will kind of get the same product so that they don't have to feel left out. Now that paint was just a little bit wet. Still. So I got to let it dry a little bit more and I can come back. So these are called they're painter markers. That's all that they are. You can get them at Michael's and probably Hobby Lobby. I've always bought mine at Michael's. They make them if you're painting on terracotta. They have ones you can paint like that as well. Use those as well. So, look at that. We got a pencil. But we still got to do in here on the white. They have little designs. So let me find my little, now I got to get a narrower paintbrush. Now, usually with those, I told you the embossing tools, I would, but because this, I could just make that little, you know, like little thing. But because this, the fabric on this, it ain't gonna work. It's not, it's gonna look all jiggity jaggedy. So we need some black. Boy, this is really runny. That's really runny. Maybe I didn't shake it up good enough before. I always hold my finger on the top because my luck, it will go flying off the top somewhere. All right, so also we're going to go C, C. That's all. Just think of it as the letter C. You're doing a half of a C. C and C. That's it. That's all it is. Don't overthink it. C, or part of a C, part of an oval, however you want to do it. And that's all it is. See? I see. I see. Now, of course, you can go closer to the edge if you want to. It's up to you how you want to make your C's. If you want to go really close to the edge. What I'm kind of following on mine right now, I don't know if you could see, it's more wet here and a little bit more dry in here. So I'm just taking it on the inside a little bit. There's no right or wrong way to do this as far as should I do it more on the outside. It just depends on the design you want to go for. I'm going to turn this upside down so I don't get paint all over me. Which guys, I always like, when I'm painting, it's like, I'm like a kid. I get paint all over me. Never fails. Wish I could play music. That would be nice to have some music in the background. So you can go back over these, and if you want them more darker, you want them a little thicker, whatever. when it's your design, nobody can say, oh, that's wrong. Because you know what? You created it. It is all about you, my friends. Look at that. Look how cute. I'll turn it up this way so you can see. Isn't that cute? What? All right. I'm gapping. So it took 45 minutes to paint this, right? So while this continues to dry a little bit, let me get some of this stuff off of here. And while this is drying, we're going to make the bow that goes with this. So I think the weight, look at that, I got polka dots on there. So, and the only reason why I'm taking it off is just so that it will dry a little bit faster as it sits in this. Like usually I put this outside to dry. And guys, it's like dry so quick. Oops. Well, that didn't flip over as that fell. So I'm just going to stick this on another one just so it's not sitting in wet paint. Hopefully it will stay there. All right. So let's get these put off the floor here really quick. And let's make the bow. The bow is the resistance, the font. How do you say that? What is the word? I can't think. The piece of resistance. Is that how you say it? All right, let me move all this wet paint out of here. And then all I do with these, I just put them in water, wash them. Use a little, you know, Dawn detergent or whatever you can or you want to clean it. I just want to move everything out of our way. Because we don't want any brushes, we don't want any paint on our bow. And let me pull up our bow. I was going to make another bow, and I changed it up. Because this one, we're going to make itty bitty 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 bow. Thank you. Hey, yeah, you guys. Please bless me, if you don't mind. I would love to have it blessed. Bless me. All right. I'm going to take all these bad boys out. Now, yesterday I did tape one of these. Here's the one that's taped. Nowhere to be found. Seriously? Oh, here it is. I put a little tape around this, a little wobbly on it, so this one kind of holds it in there. So that's why I have that. Guys, do that. Do that. Please do that. Listen, I'm like, what is it, 195 or whatever, before I hit 5,000. That's what I need. I would love to have that. Love to have you guys. There we are. Because then we can have some happy stuff come your way. All right. Oh, look. So earlier I told you about the wire gauges. I talked about them earlier when we first came on. And the thicker the wire, my big bad boy, this is 22 inch. It's weird. The lower the number, the thicker the wire. The higher the number, the thinner the wire. Now the one I did last night was on a 22 gauge and I was running out. I went in to go get 22 gauge and I wound up with, this is 24 gauge. This is 22 gauge. This was a little bit thicker. I'm going to use the thinner one on this because it's a smaller bow. But as your bows get bigger, you may want to transition to something a little bit thicker because as you're pulling it tight, it's very, you know, you can have the wire break and then you're going to be stuck with the bow made and half the wire is gone and you're going to be like, what just happened? Thank you, too, for blessing me. Thank you. Always bless, bless. Oh, I found the piece last night. I had it tied up over there. It fell all the way over there. God knows. And I found it when I was going to get something today down off the floor. So I don't need a big piece of wire, but keep in mind, this is a little bow. If it's a bigger bow, you want to have enough wire so you can attach it to your fluff box so that you can go ahead and fluff your bow. Here's my... So we're going to do our apple because the other one's apple. We got to keep it the same because we don't want any of the teachers to get mad at each other. And we already did this one yesterday where we dovetailed it. So I can dovetail this one. Now the apples on the ribbon go in one direction. So is one part of the ribbon tail going to have the apples facing down? Absolutely. Because you're doing it on this, you can't really, like if you're doing it by hand, you can manipulate and turn it so that the apples may be all facing the same way or the truck's facing all up instead of upside down. But this you can't really do that with. All right. So how big is my tail? So this is what we're going to create. The mini bow. The mini teeny weeny bow. So this was that long. Oops. Got my mat here so I don't know. So that's 5. It's about 14 inches. Give or take. Right? Just start it down here. Yeah, it's about 10 it's really about 10 inches. So I'm going to hold it really, Carolyn. 10 inches. My ribbon got caught on the table. So this is where the ribbon would tie up there. So that's where I'm going to put it. Let me move this baby out. And all I'm doing, I'm just going to take a piece of wire, run it underneath the ribbon, and twist tie it shut. Now I'm going to pull the bow just close to me for a second because I like my ribbon nice and tight. And I like to, this is just a me thing of doing it, like to use my big old belly to kind of hold it in place as I twist tie this first one in there. And I'm only going once around. I don't need to go crazy on this. And then I'm going to take one of my wire and twist it around the little stake. Take the other wire. I have a little nail sticking out of this board here. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a little nail right here. And I'm just going to take the wire and wrap it around a couple of times on that. And I'm going to push it down. And I'm going to take my tail, because I don't like things in my way, and just push them underneath the board. You don't have to push the tail underneath. It's a me thing. Just a me thing. So then we're just going to loop our ribbon over and pull it tight each time. If you have a ribbon that you don't have to switch back and forth, you know, if it's all the same, you know, on both sides, that makes life easier. But if not, we're going to do a half a twist here and then loop it around the next little peg. Guys, I have just fallen in love with my Pro Bow. I've had this thing, and I know I told you guys this since 2018. And the fall of 2018, I got it. And I used it like once or twice. I know I did a thing of it in January 2019. And my bows just weren't good. To me, they were not good. And so I didn't want to use it. I said, I got to practice. But, you know, you're trying to build a business and all, you know, that's my excuses. And I put it away and I hadn't used it since. But, I was just like, you know what? Gotta get it out there. Might as well use it. So I am finding that it is easy. I have the Easy Bow Makers, the 4-in-1 tool. Guys, you name it. I got it. I got any bow thing you can think of. All right. So just twist it halfway. And I'm pulling it tight on these things, the little pegs. And I'm using my finger just to hold it in place. Do you have to do that? No. Now when I come back across here, I have an extra wire. And again, I forgot to put it in. Put it in there. It's good if you do it in the beginning. But if you forget, it's okay if you do it now. It's no big deal. Stick it in the thing and it comes out the bottom. So this one here, I'm going to bring it across. Just tie it halfway. And again, I'm going to bring this close to me just so I use my big old belly. And I'm just going to take this. And I don't know. I'm the halfway person. Let's just tie it off halfway. You could do it each time. You know, you bring it about, you could tie it, bring it around. I was like, you don't need to really. And that's all I'm doing. So I just twisted it. So I'm going to keep one of these wires up here. I know at this point I'm not going to use that wire anymore till the very end. That's just because I'm such a pro. Not. I want to get another. Okay, so I started with the bow dabber. The only reason why I don't have, and oh my God, I was at Michael's again today. I've been to Michael's 3 days in a row to pick up, because you know you get home. I was doing the flowers for the wedding. Needed extra flowers. I went yesterday. No, I went Saturday. What is today? Today's Wednesday. I went today. I went yesterday. And I think it was Sunday. Saturday I went. Been there 3 times now. I forgot to get a bow dabber. I started with the bow dabber. Love my bow dabber. You know, it's the first thing I started, and I think that's why when I got this, I was just intimidated with all the holes and stuff. But I was like, that's silly me to think that way. It's just a matter of practicing and doing it. Same with the bow dabber. And I learned my very first bow was a Lisa bow, and I was like, oh. And I used to do Lisa bows a lot on my wreaths. And as the better I got, then, you know, did some terry bows, you know, and stuff. So those seem to be the 2 most popular that you do on wreaths. But now it's kind of like a floppy bow. Bigger loops, they can be all the same size or different sizes, you know. More just using 1.5 inch, then 2.5 inch ribbon in there. So there's all different things. Yeah, it does look confusing. But anyway, so you can use whatever kind of ribbon, any type of bow maker. But I'll show you guys different bows. I can do that. Different ones. This is the teeniest little bow. Do you have to use all of these? No. If you want to do every other one, if you don't want as many loops in here, by all means, don't use them all. Play with it. If you're not sure, you don't want to use your good ribbon, get some just Grain ribbon, which is, you know, ribbon that doesn't have wire on. Go to Dollar Tree, pick up a roll, cheap roll of ribbon there. You could do. All right, so my tails are on either side. That little wire that I had there that was helping me. I'm going to twist. Oops, I got to twist this one in half because it's got to face down since that's my tail. And just pull it, twist it tight. Now we're going to unscrew this one from up here. And these are just, it's just like doubling the, you know, the wire on here. That's all that it is doing. So it gives you extra, makes it extra secure. Do I have to use a little extra second wire in there? No. If you want to use just one wire, by all means, do whatever. Now I have 4 wires here, so I'm just going to twist them together. And let's take out my peg. Just to make it easier to pop all these babies out. Make sure I got them all out here and I didn't lose any, because I did that yesterday, and these little ones. Oh, I'm going to find one of these. Hello. And I have a wood brown floor. Look, I didn't even cut my tail off. Alright. I got to cut my tail, my ribbon off. So let's just cut this into dovetailing it. And put the pin back in here. See how fun this is? We're painting, we're making ribbon. Yes, it does. So my friend Janet that's on here, was it yesterday, Janet? Or the day before? Day before. She got her bow for her birthday. And she's like, let's make bows. And I was like, okay. And do it on the pro bow. Okay. Ooh. It's like, okay. So we played around. And I know I talked about this yesterday, and we played around with them the other day, and we just had fun. By the third bow, we were like pros. Let me just say. And she made a really pretty. Now she lives in Ireland, so she calls it differently. I call it plaid. What do you call that, Janet? Anything I can't do with my hands. Yeah. Girl, let me just tell you, I may be minus a hands. I tour. Now, some of you may know me from back in 2018. I played flag football. And when I played flag football, we were practicing, and I fell, and I put both my hands out. And I broke the thumb here in 2 places, bruised the inside of my mouth and all, cut my knee. My hands hit the gravel on the running track. Well, I complained about this wrist like about a week later. And I said, oh, you probably sprained it, didn't do anything. Well, it turns out I've had a tear in the ligament. It's been bugging me for quite some time, and it's just getting worse and worse. So now it's occupational therapy time. I'm like, great. Okay, so we got, okay, I'll move that over. Okay, so now with our bow. Now I'm going to put a pipe cleaner across here, and I'm just going to use a red one. I think I used red on the other one. And that's just to hide the wire. Now remember what I said, we took the wire and we just twisted it up here. Now you can use the bow and hold the bow in there and let the bow do the twisting, however you want to do it. And we're going to cut off this wire. I don't know, maybe it's about 1 inch long or so, give or take. There's no right or wrong. And I'm just going to take the wire and fold it back down and fold it down and lay it flat up against the bow. You guys see, it's just laying flat. I'll take my pipe cleaner, bring that in here, and I'll just, and the reason why I put it flat is so that it's not bulky or anything sticking behind. And I'm just going to twist it, give it a twist or two. Now we're going to take our bow, and we got to fluff our bow. So I don't have this isn't long enough to put on the fluff box, so we're going to have to do this by hand. I'm just going to take these and go opposite, okay? That's all I'm going to do. And I twist it a little bit here because it loosens it up at the base there. And it makes it a little bit more pliable. Does that make sense? Tartan. That's what she calls it. Tartan instead of plaid. So I'm Irish, she's Irish. For my Irish, we wore the plaid skirts that were in navy blue and green. And correct me if I'm wrong, Scottish wear the ones that have the red in it. So something I didn't know that until the other day. So tartan. Tartan. Is it tartan? A little southerner. Tartan. Tartan. I guess it depends what part of the country you're from. I'm from New York, so it's tartan. So I'm just pulling the ribbon out. I'm giving a little twist just to break it up at the base, like I said. If it's really stiff ribbon, you may want to do that. Oops, let me put the, oops, I flipped you back the wrong way. There we go. I wanted to give you so you could see a little bit. So there are my tails, and that's all that we're doing. So I broke it up. Then you can go ahead and you can start, you know, once you get it all pulled out, start just rearranging it to wherever you like it. And then you have a bow. The good thing, like I said yesterday, was with the Pro Bow, you can, all the loops come out evenly. When you're using, like, you know, you have the Easy Bow Maker here, you know, you're measuring, and sometimes I'll get off like a little bit on this side or that side. So on the Pro Bow, you don't have that happening. It's all the same. So there's our little baby bow. So once that dries, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing and put it up on the side. I'm going to thread the pipe cleaner through. Now I can't do anything more on that, so there's going to be a part 2 to this, because I have to wait for that to dry. The hair dryer only dries it so much because it kind of seeps through the other side. So it's really nice and sunny out. It's like 60 degrees out. So if I put it in my front yard, that gets the afternoon sun, which is hotter, which I got to do. So I'm going to be coming back. Once that's dry, I think I want to use see if I can find a fabric, and I'll have the stuff in it, and we'll do all that together, okay? So you're going to see me again. Oh, aren't you so thrilled? Aren't you so thrilled? Yeah, so my little bitty bows. So, all right. So I'm going to stop it here because I want to go get that dry, get it outside of the dry, maybe a couple hours. Hopefully I can come back later tonight and we'll finish this off. That's my goal, all right? So I'll see you guys later. And thanks for coming to Nona's Nutty Crafts. And don't forget to do the LSF. LSF. You guys know what that means, right? And if you don't, it means that. So I'll see you guys later, all right? So take care, you guys.